When did you start driver's ed?
The beginning of this year, around April.
When did you start driver's ed?
I did driver's ed, I think, last May. Or no, it was during April break. And yeah, it was like the 30 hours of classroom time.
Jack, when did you start driver's ed?
I started it almost like a year ago, basically, like November of my junior year.
All right, well, very nice. Did you find driver's ed challenging in any aspects?
Not really. I think it was pretty straightforward, and they did a good job of helping us find hours.
Were there any challenges trying to complete driver's ed?
Yeah, definitely after I got my permit, it was very hard to schedule driving hours with an instructor and like observation hours. When they were posted on the website, they would go very quickly and there wasn't many options. So that was a bit of a challenge.
Now, did you find driver's ed difficult in any aspects?
No, mine was online. We were one of the last like online classes, so it was pretty easy. I mean, you got to like play on your phone and kind of just do the work when you wanted to. You didn't have to sit in the classroom. It was pretty easy.
Very nice. And then, when you were going for your permit test, how did you prepare for that?
I did a lot of studying, and I reviewed the notebook for the driver's ed.
Now, when you went for your permit test, how did you prepare for it?
I didn't really prepare for it at all. I just kind of hoped I would do well on it, and I passed it, so it wasn't really a problem.
Very nice. And then, going for your permit test, how did you prepare?
They have like study guides online. I didn't really study for it. I thought it was like common sense. It was a little bit hard, but like I said, we got to take it home, so it was just something I could do.
And did you have any trouble scheduling hours with an instructor?
I did. Scheduling hours with an instructor was probably the most difficult part of driver's ed. I found it really challenging to find openings because there are so many people trying to sign up and so little opportunities.
Do you remember having any difficulty scheduling hours with an instructor for driving lessons?
Yeah, so I was the COVID era, so scheduling hours was an absolute nightmare. Someone had to do it for you, at least for my driving school. You couldn't do it yourself, and they would scatter them at like the most random dates.
And why do you think there was such trouble trying to get hours?
Well, so there's so many people trying to learn how to drive and get their driver's hours done so they can, get their JOL before they turn 18. And there's just not enough instructors around here to facilitate that. They should definitely hire more instructors because there would be more time to schedule hours.
And then, Did you find that there was a lot of stress trying to go for your license and trying to get your hours and complete driver's ed?
I do think there was a lot of stress. I feel like the most stressful part of it was trying to get everything done on time and in an orderly fashion. I feel like that was challenging.
Now, overall, how stressful was the experience?
It was pretty stressful to try and get hours, because there wasn't that many options to get hours in. I don't think I ever went on the website and signed up. I had to call them up myself, and yeah, it was kind of difficult.
Now, why do you think there was so much trouble getting the hours?
Definitely because COVID, people would cancel all the time, and they had to work around the kids, and the kids would always be super unpredictable. So getting the instructors was also a nightmare because they were older people, which during COVID was really hard to find people of older age who were going to work. So it was lack of instructors, and then kids' schedules were just so unpredictable.
Now, going for your road test, how did you prepare for that?
I just practice the things that they're going to test you on. It's parallel parking, three-point turn, backing up. You only have to prepare for those things because they're only going to ask you that. You don't have to do all these crazy maneuvers or go for long drives. The whole test is 2 minutes long. So
Prepare for that.
Basically, I went through and reviewed what my instructor told me would be on the test, stuff like turn signals and steps to parallel park and such.
Now, overall, how stressful would you rate the whole experience of driving the class, the online class, scheduling hours, and going for your road test?
it was a little bit stressful because it's very new for people learning to drive, and for some people it clicks instantly. I was one of the people who just kind of clicked, and I didn't really have a problem with it. But some people get super stuck on certain things and they get really nervous, and probably doing your hours with an instructor can be really hard because you don't know the person and they're evaluating you the whole time. But if you can get past that, it's really, really easy.
Now, overall, how stressful do you feel the experience applying for a license is?
Really wasn't that stressful. It was more exciting. I was excited to get my license, so yeah, really not that stressful.
Now that you have your license, would you say that the whole process of preparing you is accurate and it helps you to deal with the actual road?
No, it's definitely just a test. I mean, you're going to get your best experience just dealing with certain situations. Like, if there's a situation where you're at an intersection and you don't know what to do, you just have to kind of figure it out and think it through, and that's the best experience. So just driving in general and putting yourself in hard situations is probably the best way to learn how to drive.
And now that you have your license, looking back, would you say that this process is effective in preparing you for the open road?
Yes.
And how did you go about buying a car?
So, like I said, I got my license during COVID era, so all the cars in Massachusetts were super, super expensive. We had to look at cars in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine. I ended up buying a car in Rhode Island, which that was really hard because they're so far away. I couldn't just drive to them. We had to talk to them on the phone for the majority of the deal, and then we had to end up going back and forth between here and Rhode Island a couple of times to get the car.
And how did you go about buying a car?
So I looked around locally at places like Facebook Markets. Ultimately, though, I found a car at a Toyota dealership.